Save me, oh yeah, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, oh yeah. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and avenging. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, verily there's a reward for the righteous man. Hear my cry, O Yah, attend unto my prayer. Oh, from the end of the earth will I cry unto thee, when my heart is overwhelmed. Yeah. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, for thou hast been a shelter for me, and a strong tower from the enemy. For thou, O Yah, hast heard my vow. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Truly, my soul wait upon Yah. From him cometh my salvation. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Oh Yah, thou art my Yah. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land, where no water is. Make a joyful noise unto Yah. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Oh, let the children of Zion be joyful in their King. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Oh, let the children of Zion be joyful in their King.
Shabbat shalom, faithful fam. Shabbat shalom to all my people on YouTube. I'd like to welcome you to week 23 of the manifestation of the so-called black man, of the so-called African-American man. This morning we'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to Ahayat, Bahashem Yeshaya, and the precious Ruach. And for those of you not familiar with the Hebrew, that is all praise to the Most High, and they would Jesus Christ as well as the Holy Spirit. Once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you to week 23 of the manifestation of the so-called black man, of the so-called African-American man who's from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us this morning. We know you could have been anywhere in the world, but due to the fact you decided to join us this morning, we do not take your time for granted. We're going to go into the Hebrew Credo. It's come from Deuteronomy 6 chapter verse 4. Deuteronomy 6 chapter verse 4. Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya, Allah Hayana wa Hayaka, Shema Yasha Allah Hayya, Allah Hayana wa Hayaka, Shema Yasha Allah Hayya, Allah Hayana wa Hayaka. Hear, Israel.
Hear, O Israel.
The Lord our Yah is one.
The Lord our Yah is one.
Amen. Amen. Once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you to week 23 of the manifestation of the so-called black man, the so-called African American man, who is from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel. How's everyone feeling this morning? Good. All praise to the Most High for bringing us into another Sabbath. Good to see all of y'all this morning. Good for you guys on YouTube and Facebook being with us as well. Lots going on out here in this world, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people in panic mode and people going crazy and pulling their hair out. Yet Israel is what it do comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Shalom, good seeing you on with this morning. Shabbat Shalom, Alexis, good seeing you on with us this morning. I'm talking to people. She's like, man, what are people at? All praise. So, you know, we don't want to be insensitive to those who are afraid, who are concerned, but we also want to acknowledge the fact that the Most High has kept us. Hallelujah. So we're not going to, rain on other people's parade or point fingers, but we're gonna continue to celebrate, continue to praise the Most High for being a promise keeper. Huh? So let's start out this morning, just for a little foundation before we get into the lesson. Let me get 2 Corinthians 1:20. I need you to hold that and get Sirach 33. Sirach 33. Get 2 Corinthians 1:20. I need you to hold that and get Sirach 33. Just as a reminder, because I'm gonna be honest with you. This week, I was out of town, and Shabbat Shalom, Swingers, good seeing you this morning. I was out of town and was handling some business, and I kind of was, engulfed in that this week. You understand? And as I was coming home on yesterday, I started seeking the Most High, and I had this whole plan. I was like, yo, I got these videos, and I'm about to expose what they're doing here, and I'm gonna show them this right here, and I got this article, and I'm about to show them that. And most I was like, for what? Even with that Ricky Waters, for what? For who? For what? Now my aunt right here, my little aunt right here, he work at the bank, and he can verify this. When you were doing your training, when they come into the banks, right? They don't show you counterfeit money, do they? They show you real money. And what's the purpose of that? When you see the counterfeit, you automatically know what it is, right? That way, you don't have to worry about spotting counterfeit. If it don't look like the real, it ain't real. So he said, listen, you tell them what I said. Don't worry about what the liars are saying, right? And so when they hear the lie, they're going to recognize, oh, that's a lie. Because they're going to used to be hearing my voice. Hey, you know what I said, right? Yes, sir. When he says something, I don't go back and forth, but what you think about? Nah. Shalom, Aunt. Come on, Aunt. There's room in the building. Come on in. All right. So let's get 2 Corinthians 1:20 and get Sirach 33. Let's get 2 Corinthians 1:20. Bring it out.
For all the promises of Yah in him are yea, and in him amen.
So that means, ladies and gentlemen, I need you guys to know right out the gate that anything that the Most High has promised you is what? Is what?
In him are yea,
is yes
and amen.
And amen. All these promises right here, this whole book that you got right here, is promises to you, Israel. And he said yes, and amen means so be it. So I don't care what they're talking about out there. They can lie all they want to. That's on them, right? He also told us this. Let's get Sirach 33, right? You told me, so you told me coming in there. In principle. In principle. Sorry. Sirach 33, right? Let's start this verse 1. Watch this.
There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord.
Read that again.
There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord.
There shall be no evil that happen unto him that he what? But in temptation, y'all hear that? Now, how many of y'all in here fear the Most High? Huh? So read it again for him, D. He says what? Right? But in temptation. So stop right there. We know, we're going to go over this when we get to Sirach 2 in a little while. We know there's going to be times when your flesh is going to tell you to panic. It's going to tell you to, hey, hey, I should do this. I should go that way. But even in that moment, he does what? Even again, because you had to be delivered the first time to even come into the point of the temptation. So the Most High said, even again, he will deliver him. Go ahead, verse 2.
A wise man hateth not the law.
Read it again.
A wise man hateth not the law.
A wise man hateth not the law. So what is this saying to all of the Christian pastors, to all of the political leaders, to all of the people of the world, is saying that law is done away with, you ain't got to worry about it? Read it again. He says what?
A wise man hateth not the law.
A wise man hateth not the law. Is a what? They a what? Now y'all see that? So don't y'all see all these people out here tossed to and fro? Wear the mask. Don't wear it. Give me the vaccine. Stay at home. We're gonna die. Shabbat shalom, Ms. Rogers. Good seeing you on with this day. Juice. Shabbat shalom, little juice. Read it again for him, D. He says what?
A wise man hateth not the law.
But he that is a hypocrite. Now, we understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the word hypocrite is really derived from the Greek word hypocritical, which means actors. There's a lot of people out here acting like they know who the world is, Jesus Christ. They actors. There's a lot of people out here who've been acting like, I believe this Bible. I trust the God. What's happening now? Huh? Go ahead.
Is a hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm.
Right.
A man of understanding trusteth in the law.
A man of what?
A man of understanding trusteth in the law. And the law is faithful unto him,
right?
As an oracle.
As an oracle. I'm not going to hate it and look at it as a bondage. I'm going to say, man, this is keeping me alive. Y'all see that? One more foundation before we get into the words today. Let's go to John, the 10th chapter. I need y'all to see this too. I came in with a little lesson today, but sorry. The Ruach kind of, so I wasn't talking earlier. I was just listening, and now we're here. You want me? Okay. There we go. Y'all, if y'all mad about it, I understand. All right, that's all I needed. Bring it out, Ark is equivalent to the Christian. Take your time, Pastor. You know that's equivalent, right? Right? Watch this. John 10, verse 1.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
Now, we know that the Bible tells us in John 14:6 that Yeshua is the what? The way, the truth, and the life. No man coming to the Father unless he come by me. Huh? But we also know that 1 Corinthians 2, like 1 John 2:4 says, he that says he know him and keeping not his commandments is a liar. Huh? Read it again.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold,
right,
but climbeth up some other way,
right,
the same is a thief and a robber.
Now go down to verse 7.
Then he said, Yeshua unto them again, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
Y'all see that? So all these people were saying, yeah, I'm with the Lord and he on my side. You can't be both, fam. You can't be against his law. You can't be against his father. You can't be against his word and say that you're with him. The Bible says if you try to get in any other way, you are a thief and a robber. Shabbat Shalom, LaShawn to get seen with us this morning. So I wanted to put that out there because everybody is saying that they're with him, but this morning I need people to do a gut check and say, really, am I with him? Right? How do I know that? Verse 8.
All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers.
Right.
But the sheep did not hear them.
But the sheep did not hear them. Hold your place there. Go to Revelation 2. I want y'all to see what I'm talking about here. Because we are confused right now. And we're allowing loyalty to hinder us. There are a lot of people right now are scared because of the people that they're trusting to speak in their lives. And some people get to this point where they're not ready to just go ahead and say, yo, man, the season is up. I love you, but I can't follow you no more. Watch this. Revelation 2, verse 2. Watch this.
I know thy work and thy labor and thy patience,
right?
And how thou canst not bear which are evil.
Y'all cannot bear which that is evil. Go ahead.
And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles,
right,
and are not, and hast found them liars.
Y'all see that? Many of us that came out of the Christian church, that even some of you have left other congregations. It's like Israel congregations. You tried these people, and you found them not to be who they said you are. And it's not so much to say, ladies and gentlemen, that they're bad people. It's just simply that some people are trying to be who they're not. How do I know that? Hold your place there, and let's go to Ephesians 4, and then we're going to get into the lesson. This is very important. Let's go to Ephesians 4. Because I was telling the ARC before we got started there, before some of y'all came in, I said that I expected those in the world to be panicking right now. Just, they don't know how y'all. I expected some of those, Shabbat Shalom, LaDon, good seeing you over this morning. I expected those in the Christian church to be panicking. But what I didn't expect for Israel to be panicking. That's what's got me concerned. It's because I've seen Israel panic. Israel should be like excited right now. Cautious, being careful, but yet excited. And when I'm seeing Israel go along with the rest of the world with this, whatever, it's starting to get me a little concerned. So this is why the Most High gave us his word this morning. Shabbat Shalom, Nikki, good seeing you with us this morning. Watch this. Well, I said Ephesians 4, right? Mm-hmm. Let's start at verse 11. This is what I mean by this, by who we listening to.
And he gave some apostles,
right,
and some prophets,
right,
and some evangelists, and some pastors
right,
and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints,
right,
for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamas.
These are three very essential responsibilities of the fivefold ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody that giving themselves a title of apostle is not. Everybody that's giving themselves a title of pastor, they are not. Definitely everybody giving themselves a title of prophets are not. And it's unfortunate that the teacher and the evangelist position is looked upon as if it's lesser value than the others. Right now, I know for a fact, I can tell you, when of course, we don't name names that are better than ministry, but I know about 15 pastors that I know who are evangelists. They're not pastors. Because their message is strictly about salvation. That is the job of an evangelist. They can't preach or teach anything else. They've been passing Psalm 10, 15, 20 years, and every Sunday morning, their message is based on salvation. And they have a church full of people who've been saved or received salvation for years, and they can't go any farther than that because that's all they have to give them. But because they don't understand the dynamics of these fivefold ministries, and they think, oh, being an evangelist is less than being a pastor, they chose the pastor. They keyword chose the pastor title instead of walking in their calling. They should be on the street corners. They should be in the prisons. They should be visiting youth assemblies and all these things, leading people to Christ and bringing them back to the other people to edify. But because of ego and pride, some of these people are in wrong positions. People think their teachers are not responsible. How do you get education and understanding without teachers? You got many pastors who are teachers who can teach you this Bible ins and out, but they can't pastor the people because you have to have a heart to pastor people. This is why you got all these rude and arrogant and short-winded pastors, because they can't take it. They don't have the calling to do that. And ladies and gentlemen, apostle does not mean you're the head and that's the most important thing. This is simply when Yeshua said, I gave 1 5, 1 2, and 1 1, but they were all important to him. If they understood what an apostle really meant and what come along with that, you wouldn't want to put that title on your name. They don't know what it means to walk out as an apostle. You can't be in an area preaching the same thing that everybody else is preaching and calling yourself an apostle. That's not an apostle. But why is this important? Read verse 12 again. It says what?
For the perfecting of the saints.
Because these jobs by the fivefold ministry is in charge to do what?
For the perfecting of the
that
saints.
Is making the saints mature. Go ahead.
For the work of the ministry.
So to carry forth the ministry in the community. What else?
For the edifying of the body.
And to encourage and to empower the body of Hamashiach. Look around you, ladies and gentlemen. Is this going forward? And all of this is important and will continue, supposedly continue to win. 13?
So we all come in the unity of the faith.
Have we came into the unity of the faith? That's who all these guys out here telling you ain't supposed to be following men right now. You can do this on your own. Have we came into the unity of faith? What else?
And of the knowledge of the Son of Yah.
And we definitely have not all came into the knowledge of the Son of Yah. Go ahead.
Until a perfect man, into the measure of the stature of the fullness of the Messiah.
And we know, Lord have mercy. We ain't gonna be that until he come back. And the whole purpose of this is to do what? Verse 14.
That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro.
Tossed to and fro.
And carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Right.
By the sleight of
men.
And
cunning craftiness.
Whereby they rot and wait to deceive.
Y'all see that? And that's what's going on right now. So I wanted to put that out here as the foundation today before we get into this. For some people to realize that you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You need to put your loyalty to the side and you need to make a decision on what you need to do. Because your life is at stake. Now, let's get into it. Today's lesson is entitled, The World is Different, Yet Nothing Has Changed. The world is different, yet nothing has changed. Let's go to Isaiah 46. I need you to hold that and get Romans 15. Ladies and gentlemen, it is amazing to me that in a matter of 3 to 4 months, the whole world was willing to change everything about their lives. Yet the Most High has been preaching his gospel for 2,000 years, and people said, I didn't need to change, I didn't need to do that, I don't need to make no difference, grace covers it all. Why ain't grace covering all of this then? If grace can cover your pork and your shrimp, it can cover your adultery and your lying. If grace can cover you not doing what thus says the Most High, why ain't grace covering this? You having people throw out Romans 13, man, we got to be submissive to the government, but you won't submit to the Most High. We all in this together. We got to protect each other, but yet and still you're calling the police on people. You won't help nobody. You ain't fed the homeless. You ain't doing nothing for the broken down. You understand? The whole world is different. Yeah, nothing has changed when it comes to the Most High. And the Most High wanted me to remind the people that this morning. Just because everybody else changing, Israel, we must stay consistent. Huh? Watch this. Isaiah 46. I need you to hold that and get Romans 15. Isaiah 46. And let's start there at verse 9.
Remember the former things of old.
Right?
For I am Yah.
Read that again.
Remember the former things of old.
Remember the former things of old.
For I am Yah.
For a higher, that's I am in Hebrew, is Yah, go ahead. And there is none else. A higher, go ahead. And there is none like me. Okay? He's putting it out there. Watch what he says in verse 10.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Most High declared the end from the beginning. He ain't playing catch up here. Right? I'm going to tell you how this movie's going to end before I write it. Listen to that. I'm going to tell you how the movie's going to end before I write the movie. Right? Go ahead.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
Right?
And from ancient times.
The things that are not yet done. Come on, man. Who's doing that? But they tell you this book don't matter. Right? I don't even look at this, my man. Why you don't watch news? You say you against the news. Man, I don't watch the news. All I gotta do is turn to the prophecies. It's playing out before us. You telling me? All I can go to Job and say there's positions of liars. He told me they was coming in Job. Positions of no value. Right? Go ahead.
My counsel.
No, start from the beginning.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
Right.
And from ancient times the things that are not yet done.
Right.
Saying, my counsel shall stand.
My counsel shall stand.
And I will do all my pleasure.
And I'm going to do all my pleasure. Listen, I don't care what the world is doing. Whatever I have said for Israel, they're going to go forth. That's what he's telling them out. He said, man, they can move around. They can do whatever they want to. What I have said I'm going to do for my people, it's going to be what a rap in the clap. Watch this. Now, hold that. Let me get verse 11. Go ahead. Let's keep going.
Calling a ravenous bird from the east.
Right.
The man that executeth my counsel from a far country. Yeah, I have spoken it.
Right.
I will also bring it to pass.
I
have purposed it. I will also do it.
I will do it. Y'all understand, ladies and gentlemen, that he said this. This is speaking to Isaiah around 600 something BC. And what he's saying here is what he's doing now. Watch this. Verse 12.
Hearken unto me.
Hearken unto me. Right?
That are far from righteousness.
Read it again, D.
Hearken unto me.
No, listen to the news.
Hearken unto me.
No. Follow social media. No. Do a collaboration and just go with the best opinion that stands. Hearken unto me, you stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness. You say, if you're scared, you better hearken unto me. If you don't know what's going on, you better hearken unto me. Right? Verse 13.
I will bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off. And my salvation shall not tarry. Where? For Israel, my glory. The whole world is different. Yet nothing has changed. Right? Let's go to Romans 15:4. Watch this. Romans 15:4. Bring it out. For whatsoever things were written aforetime, written for our learning.
They was written for our learning, ladies and gentlemen. How is the pastor going to tell you that the Old Testament is done away with? When Paul said in the New Testament, what?
Whatsoever things were written aforetime, were written for our learning. So how are you going to learn if you don't read it? If you don't acknowledge it? For many who don't know what it is. The reason why people are afraid right now is because they don't know that the Most High spoke to them from the beginning. This is the reason why they're seeing all this thinking, oh man, this just came out of blue. When Israel had been telling this for years. I remember the first time, I think it was like 2016, the first time we sat our people down and had a conversation. Listen, man, I'm telling you, the mark of the beast is coming, and they're going to come in with this sickness, and they're going to get everybody crazy. We told them that 4 years ago. They laughed. We came back in 2017. They laughed. We told them again in 2018. They laughed. And we was preaching the same scriptures. And we told them, listen, if you ain't keeping law, you're going to be cut off. And they're still laughing, yet crying when they look at the news. So when we tell them, when we see the news, like, yo, man, I'm going to show you this is what's going to happen. This and this and that. Man, you think you know everything. Nah, I just know the man who does. His name is Yeshua. Just like we told him about this, that we told him the whole time. This so-called corona, all this stuff, the mask, is the basic training for the mark of the beast. Watched the video just the other day where they got 341 million needles ready. Now, how you get 341 million needles ready in 3 months? No, that means you already had it. And he said, we got the technology in order so as we put the vaccine in you, to put the RFD chip in there at the same time. Why was you working on that if this just happened? But they have to hear it come from them before they believe us. But some of them are not going to hear it until they go down there and stick their arm out. And then your personality and you are no longer the same. And it's over. No precepts can change that after that. Read it again. Deacon says what? Whatsoever things were written aforetime,
right?
Were written for our learning.
They were written for our learning. Why? Of the what? Of the news. Of the prescriptions. Of the vaccines. Might have hope. This stuff is written for us to have hope. But if you don't know it, it ain't gonna matter. And the good thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, all praise to the Sound Council, is that the video that I'm talking about, which I'm gonna show y'all Tuesday night, guess what it was on? CBN, Christian Broadcast News. So that when you see it on that, you're gonna say, hey, this can't be the mark of the beast, because the Christian Network is telling me about it. Don't you know these guys are in league? I keep trying to get people to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that without Christianity, there's no such thing as white supremacy. But crafty guys. It's amazing. We tell our people, like, yo, man, Christ is black. Israelites are black. They call us racist. But the same guy that hates your guts is telling you, come on now, right? Come on now and let me get that rich, man. Rich game. Right? But I digress, because I got to stay in this truth today. Let's go. Let's go to Deuteronomy 10. I need you to hold that and get Jubilees. Now, I know some of y'all may not have Jubilees. And I tell all my new people, don't worry about Jubilees yet. Just let us, dissect that to you. But if you want these scriptures, you can Google it. Go to Jubilees, go to Google, and put in Jubilees, and put in chapter 2, 17 to 22. We're just going to bring those 6 verses out right quick. Because we need to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that
The whole world has changed, yet nothing is different. Right? Watch this. Deuteronomy 10. I need you to hold that and get Jubilees, the second chapter. Let me show y'all, ladies and gentlemen. The whole world has changed, yet nothing is different. The world is different, yet nothing has changed. Watch this. Deuteronomy 10. Let's start at verse 12. Watch this.
And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy Yah require of thee?
Right?
But to fear the Lord thy Yah,
To fear the Lord thy Yah,
to walk in all his ways,
to walk in all his ways,
and to love
and to
him,
love him.
and to serve the Lord thy Yah with all thy heart, with all thy soul.
That's Israel what is required of you. That is the mandate. That's non-negotiable. Okay. Right? Go ahead.
To keep the commandments
Do
of
the
the Lord,
what?
to keep the commandments of the Lord,
Right?
and his statutes,
And his statutes?
which I command thee this day for thy good.
For who?
For thy good.
Not for him.
For thy good.
For thy good. Ladies and gentlemen, Israel, let me give you this breakthrough information. The law, statutes, and commandments are not to boost the ego of the Most High. It is for your protection. Come on. Hold your place there. Let me prove it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 31. Right? Because this is what gets me wilding sometimes when people ask you like, man, like they act like little children when you tell them, like, yo, man, go take a shower, go take a bath and brush your teeth. Oh man, why I gotta do this? You're acting this like you're doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, listen, it's gonna be Yah, hey, it don't make no difference. The question is, we're gonna be straight. Read that verse again before we read this right here. Chapter and verse.
Deuteronomy 10 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
To keep the commandments of the Lord, and the statutes which I command thee this day for thy good.
For thy good. Now, what I meant was Slakia, Deuteronomy 30 is what I meant. Watch this. And give me 19 and 20.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
Right?
That I have set before you life and death.
Life and death.
Blessing and curses.
Blessing and curses.
Therefore choose life.
Therefore choose life that thou and thy seed may live. This is for you, Israel. And ladies and gentlemen, as we like to remind you often, this choice was not given to anyone but you. You know how special that make you, young lady? That he gave you that choice, but he didn't give it to nobody else? He said, I want you to have this choice, but I'm not giving it to the others. But you can. That's love, man. That's how much the Most I love y'all. He said, I'm going to give it to you. Not everybody else in the world. I'm going to give it to you. Choose life. Just choose life. Now, let's go back. Start back at verse 14. Deuteronomy 10 and 14.
Behold, the heaven and the heavens of heavens is the Lord thy Yah, the earth also with all that therein.
So he said, all of this is the Most High. We know Psalm 24 says the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof and all the things dwell in, right? But this is what I need you to see. Verse 15 says what?
Only the Lord had the delight in thy fathers to love them.
That's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
And he chose the seed after them.
He chose who? No, he chose the world. Even who? Even you. Not equal to everybody else. Now we're going to give them civil rights. Above all people, the world is different. Yet nothing has changed. And if our people knew that, they would put down the Black Lives Matter signs, they would turn away from the buildings, and they would go to their knees and face the east to the Most High. But because they don't know that, they still going after the Gentiles to be treated civilly when he said what? As it is this day. I don't understand why a pastor won't tell his people that. That confuses me. Why is this so hard to accept? You trying to make a man, make a people say you equal to me when the Most High told you you're above them. But yeah, you gonna say, that ain't love. That ain't my God. That ain't my Jesus. You right. So Israel, because ain't nothing changed, verse 16.
Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart,
Mm-hmm.
and be no more stiff.
And be no more stiff-necked. Go ahead.
For the Lord your Yah is the God of God.
Read it again, dude.
For the Lord your Yah is the God of God.
Because the Lord Ahaya is thy God, and he is the Yah of all gods. Ladies and gentlemen, Ahaya is the God of the God over the God of America. We ain't never gonna listen to these guys because our God is higher. And his name is Ahaya. Go ahead.
And the Lord of Lords,
Uh-huh.
a great Yah, a mighty and terrible, which regardeth not person,
Right.
nor taketh reward.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't gonna be able to give your way through this. You ain't gonna be able to buy your way out of this. You ain't gonna be able to serve your way, preach your way out of this. The only way you qualify for this is to do what he said. We know how in the world, like the rich got advantages and all that, and the poor struggle. Not in the kingdom. So y'all don't need to have that mindset of how the people treat the world, how the people are treated in the world. That's over there. When it's what they call it, the scale, like, you know, with the amount of money, more money you got, you can. Yeah, but it's a certain word they do in India. The caste system. Yeah. There ain't no caste system in with the Most High. Shabbat shalom. Now, let's go to Jubilees 2. Let me show y'all this. The whole world is different, yet nothing has changed. So I wanted to give you guys a reminder this morning. While everything else is going on in the world, you need to understand that the kingdom is still consistently staying the same. Let's go to Jubilees 2. And let's read verse 17 to 22.
And he gave us a great sign, the seventh day.
He gave us what?
A great sign.
A great sign.
The seventh day.
The what?
The seventh day.
Uh-huh.
That we should work 6 days, but keep Sabbath on the seventh day from our work.
Mm-hmm.
And all the angels of the present.
Oh, no, hold on. I don't want to smooth past that. The whole world is different. Yet nothing has changed. The Sabbath ain't changed, ladies and gentlemen. You say, well, we know that. Well, I'm just reminding you. Okay. I was about to say something, but I just said. Read verse 18.
And all the angels of the present,
right?
And all the angels of sanctification.
Uh-huh.
These two great classes, he had bidden us to keep the Sabbath with him.
With who?
With him.
Uh-huh.
In heaven and on earth.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the whole world is different. Yet the angels in heaven and the Most High and all the elders in heaven right now are keeping the Sabbath with us. Okay. They don't care what they're doing out there today. You say, I know that. I know. Just a reminder for those who may not. That everybody else right now is sitting in a frenzy. But Israel, the angels, the Most High, Yeshaya is keeping the Sabbath currently right now. We're at rest today. When everybody else is like this, we like this. The angels, the ones that are in heaven with him, and the ones he got doing this work, even they ain't doing no work right now on earth. The angels that are assigned to you right now sit right beside you, going through this law with you right now. They got their own book. They came in with their bags this morning. Right? They probably in a roll of scroll, though. They probably scroll there. Right? Watch this. Verse 19.
He said unto us, Behold, I will separate unto myself a people from
Right.
among all the people.
He gonna do what?
Separate unto myself a people from among all the people.
Right?
And these shall keep the Sabbath day.
Uh-huh.
And I will sanctify them unto myself as my people.
And you said he's gonna do what?
Sanctify them unto myself
Unto myself.
as my people.
As what?
As my people.
As my people.
And will bless them.
And will what?
Bless them.
Uh-huh.
And I will sanctify the Sabbath day and will sanctify it unto myself. Even so will I bless them.
Bless who?
Them.
Them.
And they shall be my people.
And who?
And they shall be my people.
Right?
And I will be their God.
Now let's see who this is. Let's see if it's the Christians. Let's see if it's the Americans. Let me see if it's the Baptists and the Kojic. Let me see if it's the Presbyterians and the Methodists. Let me see if it's the Muslims in there. Matter of fact, let me see if it's the Europeans. Who did he say?
I've chosen the seed of Jacob.
I told who?
The seed of Jacob.
I chose who?
The seed of Jacob.
Uh-huh. Them must where? All that I have seen. Read it again, Dick. The world is different. Yet nothing has changed. I don't care what they're talking about out there. In heaven, it's the same. Go ahead.
And I have sanctified him unto myself forever.
For how long? No, hold on. You say you did it for how long?
Forever.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, now you know when you say forever, it's forever. But when you say forever, ever, you gotta say in the Outcast boy now. You gotta say the 3 Stacks boy. Forever. That's a long time. Right? Go ahead.
And I will teach them the Sabbath day.
And I will teach who?
Them the Sabbath day.
Uh-huh.
That they may keep Sabbath thereon from all work.
Right?
And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should keep the Sabbath with us on the 7th day, to eat and to drink and to bless him who has created all things.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen, every Sabbath, everybody always asks me, like, why are you going out of your way to make sure there's food and everything on the Sabbath? This is why. Because we are supposed to do this together as a family every Sabbath. This is the commandment. This is a sign. Now, you notice in the Black community, so-called Black African American community, what day is a day that everybody as a family gather? Sunday. Because our slave masters taught us that. So everybody bring dishes and cook, and no matter what you've been doing, even if you didn't go to church or not, you came over grandma's house, mama's house for Sunday dinner. But it was supposed to be this way for the Sabbath. The world is different, yet nothing has changed. Go ahead.
Who has created all things, as he is blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people.
Now, peculiar people,
above all people.
Above all people.
And that they should keep Sabbath together with us.
They do, hold on. They should do what? The Most High said, he allowed us to keep Sabbath with him. You hear that, young man? Not only did you get a choice when nobody else did it, but you also got the distinct honor to keep the Sabbath with the Most High. You know how special you is? He didn't give that to the rest of them, but he gave it to y'all. So if our people knew this, we would in no way, shape, form, or fashion ask the Gentiles for anything. The whole world is different. Yet nothing has changed. Watch this, go ahead.
He calls his commandments to sin as a sweet savor, acceptable before him all the days.
So, ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that every Sabbath you're keeping It goes up as a sacrifice unto the notice of the Most High. It blesses him. And I don't mean no disrespect, but that don't happen on Sunday. I don't care how good our intentions were when we were doing it. He didn't receive it. What we saw was grace. And you can tell now the grace is over. That's why slowly but surely the Christian church is being dismantled. They done went from online to the parking lot. And some of them, ladies and gentlemen, ain't gonna make it back into the building. And the ones that do, it's gonna be over in the next year or two. Mark my word. The church is being dismantled. And they don't want to hear that. But it's a fact. When they were letting people go to tattoo parlors and bars, but you can't go to church. You can go sit down in a restaurant, but you can't go to the church. You telling me in the house of the Lord, would you call it, I ain't safe? And we supposed to been had deep, and we supposed to been done the second Black History according to the Bible, which was requested by pastors. We said we was going to do it only in the month of February, but was attacked by pastors saying why we won't make it available throughout the year. Yet those same pastors won't do it now because they scared to go. I don't know what to do. The me and Nick ain't finna go out there standing on sun and do no 2 hours. I'm not doing it. We're still on the street corner, wake our people up, but you can open up that building for that. I'm sorry. Now, so let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Malachi 3. I need you to hold that and get Hebrews 13 and 8. The whole world is different. Yet nothing has changed. Have y'all seen any change so far through the scripts? Okay, I just want to make sure. Hold me accountable if you see something different. You guys got the green light tonight. If you see something, Facebook, YouTube, if you see something that's different, hold me accountable. I know the Bible said rebuke not an elder, but hey, today you got a green light. Rebuke me. If you tell me something different, hey, stop me right there in my tracks. Malachi 3 and 6. Bring it out.
For I am the Lord, I change not.
Read it again.
For I am the Lord, I change not.
For I am the most higher, I change it not. Did you see that? Shabbat Shalom. This in your words. This in your words then. Because the Most High has not changed, we have not been consumed. Now, why are they telling me that there was a God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament is different? Well, maybe yours did change. The devil's always changing. He's always coming with different formats, right? But the Bible says what? Read it again, chapter and verse.
For I am the Lord, I change not.
For I am the Most High, I change not. And you better be glad it's real. We better be glad that he decided not to change his mind. Because if he had changed his mind, we would have been done. Praise be to the Most High, who decided not to change his mind. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now, let's go to Hebrews 13 and 8. So we saw the Most High say he ain't changed. Let me see what his son talking about. But you know they normally, right, on the same page. They normally rock together, right? I ain't never seen him say anything too much different than what his father said. Let's see what he says. Hebrews 13 and 8 says what?
Yeshua HaMashiach, the same yesterday,
The same yesterday,
today,
today.
and forever.
The whole world is different. Yet nothing has changed. If Yah ain't changed, and Hamashiach ain't changed, and we said we follow them, why are we? Read it again, chapter and verse.
Hebrews 13 again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeshua HaMashiach, the same yesterday,
Yesterday,
and today.
today.
And
No, he might change tomorrow. What about next week? What about in a couple of years? Forever. Why are we changing? Right? Let's go to it though. Isaiah 42. I need you to hold that, get Isaiah 44. Stay live. I think on a sleep spirit. All right. Isaiah 42. Now, we went through several precepts so far, built a nice little foundation, and we have not seen any change in the program, right? But we're about to address here these next two precepts, Israel who has forgotten or who have lost sight, because we all lost sight. We're all in that stage of awakening and being awakened to the truth again. Huh? Anybody in here have fully arrived? Okay, good. Because if you had, I was going to tell you you should go ahead and leave. You straight, and no need to stay. But for the rest of us who know we ain't gonna be good until we come back, that's remain. Okay. But if you're good, I ain't want to hold you up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you found it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I don't want to be around you. You got to do it to the end. If you already got it, you got something I don't want. I'm gonna be straight with you like that. Anybody say they got all the answers, you talk to the devil. Straight up. Even Yeshua said he don't know when he comes back. So you got all the answers. I'll just be real with you. Isaiah 42. Let's start there at verse 18.
Hear ye deaf.
Hear ye deaf.
And look ye blind, that ye may see.
Read it again.
Hear ye deaf. And look ye blind, that ye may see.
The Most High said, listen. Those who ain't been able to hear my voice, that's why we set the foundation in the beginning. Said my voice, but the real sheep ain't following nobody else's voice. So if you can't hear his voice, hear it. Oh, you deaf, and what else?
And look ye blind, that ye may see.
Uh-huh.
Who is blind but my
Who
servant?
is blind but my servant? That's a shame. How do I know that? Hold your place there. Give me Isaiah 1 and 3. This is how I know that he said, who is blind but my servant? Because I'm going to tell you, the Gentiles are fully aware of what's going on. The powers of the Gentiles are fully aware. They don't need a wake-up call. They know exactly who Israel is. It's just us who don't. Isaiah 1 verse 3.
The ox knoweth his owner.
The ox knoweth his owner.
The donkey his master's crate.
Right?
But Israel doth not know.
Israel don't know. Israel out here calling themselves everything but Israel. Some of them talking about they their own gods. I'm my own creator. The black woman is God. I'm an Egyptologist. You never stepped in Egypt before. The people in Egypt don't follow Egyptology. People saying they're Baptists. Some people proud Democrats, Republicans, proud African Americans. Some people say they're Pan-Africans. Some of our people even call themselves, pansexuals and all this other foolishness. They're everything but Israel. This is the confusion that's going on amongst our people. And we think that because the world is different, we're supposed to be different. We're supposed to be diverse.
Y'all better be careful when you hear words empowerment and diversity. Because empowerment means that there's something of power being given unto you. You better be careful. Women, be very careful when you go to places about women empowerment. 9 times out of 10 is probably some witches, even amongst Israel. When you're talking about some diversity, tolerance, conformity, acceptance. Be careful when you hear words like that. So let's go back. Isaiah 42, verse 19.
Who is blind but my servant?
Who is blind but my servant? Go ahead.
Or deaf is my messenger that I sent.
Y'all see that? The messengers that he has sent to tell his people is deaf. Because, ladies and gentlemen, truth be told, every Christian pastor is not wicked. They're not malicious. They're not false prophets. I was one of them. I know many of them that are not. But they are deaf. How do we know that? Let's go to Amos 3. We're going to back everything up with the scriptures here. No opinions. How do we know that many of his messengers are deaf? Because if they was hearing them, it would be totally different messages coming out. I don't care whether it be on Saturday or Sunday. It would be totally different than what we're hearing. Because when I scroll down my news feed on Sunday and I see these guys standing in the parking lot after all this going on, still screaming and hollering and hooping and jumping up and down, I'm confused. At some point, we got to realize, hey, okay, come on. Still saying, say yeah, tap it. Come on, man. The neighbor's been tapped out. He tapped out a long time ago. I mean, I'm serious, man. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just like, yo, for real, like, what are we doing? Right? Amos 3. Give me verse 6 and 7. 6 to 8.
Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Right?
Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?
This is the problem. All of the evil that's going forth, the destruction that's going on this earth, the majority of people saying it's the devil that's doing it. That's the problem. Because we've been brainwashed to believe every time you see something bad, oh, that's the devil. What we deem bad, let me correct myself. Oh, that's the devil doing that. So when you see these devils, the devil killing people. It should say something different than that. But our people not ready to hear that because Christianity done gave you a watered down version of who the Most High in Christ is. He says he loves the sinner, but he hates the sin. No, my Bible says he hates the sinner. God would never do that. You must don't know him. That's like people that, like when they see my pops, right? See how my pops and my moms is. They see how loving and caring and good people they is in the community. If we sell one of our war stores that get been beat all over the house, and Lee Vonda would never do that. Right. Irish Jean would never do that. Right. It's because you don't know him. You know the sweet lady that's standing at Walmart with a smile. You don't know what you do to the kids when they get out of line. Right. That's what it is. I'm just giving you an example of what I'm talking about. So they see my dad is well loved and respected around this community. When I tell her how we got him ducked when we got out of pocket as teenagers, that man, Levi, Big Lee would never do that. Right. You got 4 boys that tell the same story consistently. How we to this day we won't step up to them. We call him Lebo. Not Debo, we call him Lebo. You understand? We come in, look at that TV remote, fam. Right? You handed it up. You're not asking the question like, man, I was watching that. You're like, right? And so the reason why the people say this about the Most High is because you're in church hearing them hope messages, sweet sounds into your ear. You don't know. Read it again. It says what?
Till the trumpet be blown in the city, and the people will not be afraid.
Right?
Till there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it.
Mm-hmm. So you think like, hey, this what's happened? This can't be the Most High. This is the devil. And you think that way. Why? Verse 7.
Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but he will reveal his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Y'all see that? So this is how I know, ladies and gentlemen, that what Isaiah is telling us, that his messengers are deaf, because if they heard the voice of the Most High, they would have been telling the people what's going on. And it wouldn't just be coming from this small sect of Israel, but it would be coming through all of the churches in our communities. And yet it's still not. And the majority of them won't. And I mean this is no disrespect, but tomorrow in many of the churches, you're going to have them in there masked up, talking about this is going to protect them and not the law. They're going to tell you, I'm wearing this mask to protect you, but they're going to go home and gossip and tell all of the business of the people that's in there. Now, me telling your business, that ain't protect. I ain't worried about protecting you there now, but I'm going to wear this mask because I want to protect you. This is what's going on. The whole world is different. Yet nothing has changed. And I thank the Most High for those who are waking up and coming out. And this is why we have to continue to be light and salt, but we cannot by no means realize that everybody who's saying Christ is not with us. Because I'm telling you, when it gets real, we're going to see who God they're going to serve. Watch this. Now let's go back. Isaiah 42. I just wanted to show you that the messages are there. Go ahead. Just read all the verse 19 again.
Who is blind but my servant,
right?
Or deaf as my messenger that I sent?
Right.
Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant?
Y'all see that? It's a shame that his servants, the servants of Israel, the children of Israel, are one that's blind in the earth. They don't know what's going on. They're completely oblivious. Verse 20.
Seeing many things, but thou observest not.
They seeing many things, but thou observest not. Go ahead. But can't hear. This is what's going on. Watch this. Verse 21.
The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake.
Right.
He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
He will do what?
He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
Every time, every corner you come around, the law is there. Like, hey, what's up, man? But we want to disregard it. Say it don't matter. Verse 23, 22.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
But our people have been robbed and spoiled.
They are all of them snares and holes.
And the Gentiles were the snares that tripped us up in the holes. They're where? What is? Y'all see that? Remember, the Most High said in the beginning, what? We start out, I will speak the end from the beginning. Who is the majority of the people that is in prison? Is it not Israel? Y'all see that? He said they're where be?
They are hid in prison house.
Uh-huh.
They are for prey.
They are for a prey, and none deliver them for a small. Where's the leaders that are telling us that? You want to talk about some prison reform? What? Prison reform can be very easy. Send the elders of Israel into every black prison, every prison. Let us preach these for a couple weeks. That's your prison reform.
You ain't black, you ain't African American, you're from the tribe of Judah. You ain't a Latino, you're not a Hispanic. Prison reform over. They'll never allow that. They'll never allow it. But yet they paid Kanye West $100,000 to go to like 7 prisons in Texas. Had him in that G, walk. Yeah, they've been walking with you all the way to prison. Caesar, walk with me. Trump, show me the way. Hey, this is the word. That's why I started out with in the beginning. We speak the end from the beginning. Ain't showing you right here. Which more? Go ahead.
Who among you will give ear to this?
And this is the question that I have for my people that are watching. Who among you have ear to this?
Who will hearken and hear for the time to
And
come?
who will hearken and hear for the time to come? I spoke the end from the beginning. Go ahead.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Who gave Jacob for a spoil? Uh-huh.
Not the Lord, he against whom we have said.
Read it again, Deke.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Who gave Jacob for a spoil? If I ask the people right now, if I just go up to all the streets in the cities of America, who gave this to you? The white man. And because they believe it's the white man, that's why they're asking the white man for help, for rights, for acceptance. Read it again, D.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil, and Israel to the robber?
Right?
Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned?
Right?
For they would not walk in his ways.
Because we would not walk in his ways,
Neither were they obedient.
neither they will be to what? And yet the pastors are still telling them Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, break the law. The whole world is different, yet nothing has changed. Israel is still being spoiled, still being robbed, still led astray, because we won't keep the law. Hey, Sam, cut that on. It's about that freezer back there. Save me. You just all you gotta do is just turn it on. Stop switch right there. Yeah, yeah. It ain't off, fam. You can ask them, it ain't off. We'll get it together, man. All right, I'm sorry. I wanted them comfortable. I started seeing the shivers going. Let's get some more of these precepts there. One more. Yeah. Okay, appreciate that. Read that verse 24 from again. It says what?
Who gave Jacob for a spoil,
Right?
and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? But they would not walk in his ways.
Because we were not walking his ways.
Neither they obedient unto his law.
Neither were we obedient to his law. And this as a result, why? This is what happened?
Therefore he has poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and he has set him on fire round about.
Y'all see that? Because they don't care, man, what they telling you. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, newsflash. For all of you that are signing these petitions for bringing down some statues or whatever the case may be, Christopher Columbus' mission has already been accomplished. Okay, listen, America's over. They know that. They're the ones imploding it. The corporation leaders, ladies and gentlemen, didn't y'all see, I think it was like last year, all of the major top CEOs stepped down? All the corporations, they went out in the back door with the money bag. The jig is out. Israel has woke up now. Ladies and gentlemen, America was never a country. This has always been a corporation built off of Israel. Once Israel woke up, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever asked yourself, how do people train elephants? I mean, look how massive an elephant is, right? You ever ask yourself, how can a person train an elephant to make him stay when you know we don't have the power to hold him in place? This is what they do. When an elephant is born, up until he gets like a certain age, they put enough restraint to hold him to where he is at that point, right? And they never increase the restraint, no matter how big it gets. But because they've trained his mind at that early age that this is as far as he can go, even though he has the ability to tear that whole tree out, because they have the mind, he won't never yank it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what people don't realize is that by telling us we were nothing for 200 years during the time when we was on the plantations, and then getting you off and reminding you every day of Jim Crow, lynching, hangings, killing, and all, and the cartoons, the movies, the artwork, the Sambos, the what they call it, blackface and all that stuff. It was a constant reminder to you that black was wrong. So what they thought was, by telling people that, we're going to let you into our schools and we're going to give you acting jobs, people thought this was a success. The only thing it did, ladies and gentlemen, was to convince people to come away from who they were to become them. You don't get off in Hollywood and be holy. You must be wicked to succeed there. So they'll send these wicked men and women back to the people in the hood and tell them, hey, you can be us. We know God brought us here. But they never tell you his name, do they? They go on these award shows and they say, I want to thank God, but they never say his name, do they? You think the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was for that? So we get caught up in the hype of seeing us on TV, and we get caught up in the hype of them Black Lives Matter. And then when you go on Hulu, you go through the screens there, they got black stories and black fight. Oh man, they really love us. Meanwhile, simultaneously, Pride Month, moving it all in that together. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that the leader, well, the face is George Soros, Jewish guy, Black Lives Matter. Did you know that the leader of Black Lives Matter, black woman, is married to a white woman? Research it if you think I'm making it up. Does Black Lives Matter really matter to her? You didn't think enough of us to even marry a black woman. You definitely don't love Black lives because you're not willing to produce any. And then you married a white woman at that. And these are the people that you're allowing to tell you what to do. Thinking so. When has the government ever cared anything about you? They make it so that you can't have health care, you can't have insurance on your job, but then they say, listen, when the vaccine come out, we're gonna make sure you get it first. Now you care. And guess what? Matter of fact, the vaccine's not gonna work unless you allow us to test it on you. And a bunch of pastors / Judases took the 30 pieces of silver and set up their churches and testing sites. Come on down. Every leader telling you, every so-called leader and influence person telling you for the last 2 months, go protest, let your voice be heard. Meanwhile, everybody's out there potentially has the virus. Who told you to go? It won't Israel. The world is different.
Nothing has changed. The devil is still a liar. Huh? All right, let's go to Sirach 2. Let's get some encouragement here. Now, matter of fact, I need Isaiah 44. Let's get that first. I wish I had that Eddie Kane voice right now. I give y'all that 5 heartbeats. I need, hey, Mickey, I need Myron in here right now. Myron to give it to me. Isaiah 44. Shout out to my man Myron who's watching. Isaiah 44. Start at verse 1.
Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah.
Hold on. What you at? 44.
Oh, okay.
That was still powerful though. 44 though.
Hear ye now, O Jacob,
Yeah.
yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant,
Right.
and Israel, whom I have chosen.
Now that's just you see that right there. Now that was a mistake. But yet the world is different, the same. Still talking to Israel. I just want to put that out. I want to point that out there. It hasn't changed. The thing is still Israel. Right? Let's put that out there, right? Read that again. Isaiah 44 and 1. Watch this.
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant,
Uh-huh.
Israel,
Whom I will. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not,
O Jacob.
my servant,
Right?
and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen.
Now listen, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe me, you can Google this. The first time we see the word Jeshurun is in Deuteronomy 32. Jeshurun means, guess what that means? My beloved ones. That's what the Most High calls you, my beloved ones. That's his nickname for us, Jeshurun. You know, you don't give a nickname to somebody you don't love. Y'all see that? He's calling you his beloved. Go ahead.
I will pour water upon him that is
I
thirsty,
will pour water upon him that is thirsty. Go ahead.
and floods upon the dry ground.
And floods upon the dry ground.
I will pour my spirit upon thy seed,
Mm.
and my blessing upon thy offspring.
Come on, y'all. Y'all hear this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Facebook. I'm sorry. The whole world is different, huh? Yet nothing has changed. Read it again what he said, D.
I will pour water upon him that is thirsty,
Uh-huh.
and floods upon the dry ground.
Mm-hmm.
I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thy offspring.
You see that? It's not based on a stimulus package. This is not based on reparations. This is what he promised he's going to do. Watch this. Verse 4.
And they shall spring up as among the grass,
Mm.
and willows by the water courses.
Right?
One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
Right?
And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and surname himself by the name of Israel.
Y'all see that? So that means we're going to be in different camps, different congregations, right? But we still know that we all serve the Most High. Y'all see that? So he said, listen, you're going to say this over here. Hey, we Better Day over here. We 7-Day Harvest over there. We Restoration Center over here. You know what I'm saying? We Boom, we Rebirth. We all these different names. But we still serve the Most High. You see that? Watch this. Verse, what we at, verse 6?
Thus saith the Lord,
That's the Most High.
the King of Israel,
Uh-huh.
and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first,
How is the first?
and I am the last,
How is the last?
and the second.
Y'all see that? The whole world is different. Yet nothing has changed. Verse 7?
And who, as I shall call and shall declare it,
Right.
and set it in order for me, since I am appointed the ancient
He
people.
said, we're going to do this for you. I appointed the ancient people.
Who else is going to do this for you than me? Why are you asking and looking everywhere else? I appoint you. I chose you. I made you. The Most High word is so powerful. He spoke this, ladies and gentlemen. This is about 700 BC. Before Christ was even walked the earth. He was telling us this today. Watch this. Verse 8.
Fear ye not,
Fear ye not.
neither be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Have not I told thee from that time and have declared,
Uh-huh.
ye are even my witnesses.
He said what?
Ye are even my witnesses.
He said what?
Ye are even my witnesses.
Right.
Is there a God beside me?
He said, because you prove to the rest of the world that I am the Most High. Because he never told us to be like nobody else. We was never supposed to fit in. We was never supposed to follow the religions. We are supposed to be different. Why? Because we are. The whole world is different. But for us, nothing has changed. You understand? Now, go finish the rest of that, Dick.
Is there a God beside me? Yea, there is no God. I know not any.
I know not any. Most out there, y'all may rock with them dudes, I don't know. What applies to them too? It might be real to you. I mean, fake to me, man. It's like, and the quote applies there. Applies there. It might be real to you. That dude fake to me, man. That was the most I said. The guys that real Christianity and Islam and Judaism may be real to you, but the dude fake to me, man. I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? That said the Most High. Huh? Hallelujah. All right, now let's go to Sirach 2. We're going to end off of these last two. We're going to Sirach 2 and Baruch 4. We'll end off of these today. Because we have to realize, and yet and still, that there are some times of adversity. There are some times that we have to, go through. So we have to have this encouragement. We have to have somewhat of a foundation. You understand, for us to rely on. Sirach 2, D. And let's start there, verse 1.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
My son, my daughter, if you come to serve the Most High,
prepare thy soul for temptation.
prepare your soul for temptation. You're going to be tempted, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not necessarily talking about being tempted to go back into things of wickedness and sin. Sometimes it's just going to be tempted to just go back into where you used to be. To go back in your closet, to go back in your room and hide and pull the covers back over your head. You know how in the morning times back when we were going to school, parents come in the room, wake you up, cut that light on. You're like, man, what would we do? We throw that cover over our head. Right? So yeah, that's what I do. Throw that cover back over your head so you can get it back dark in there. So you can go back to sleep. And ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, Deke is my witness. I get these counsels all throughout the week. There's many of my brothers and sisters in the Christian church that know who they are. But they are afraid. I remember it's kind of disheartening. A few years ago, it started out very encouraging. We had just started preaching this truth. Me and Deke came to the truth late 2013, but the Most High never gave us the green light to preach it publicly until 2016. That was a difficult time for me, but I understand now why he did it, because I wasn't ready to teach the thing publicly. Knowing something and the ability to teach it is two different things. So I had to continue to travel and do the ministry, but I couldn't tell people that it was Israel. Very discouraging sometimes, because it's like knowing the answer, but you can't give it to them. Right? So I remember when we first started teaching this publicly, and one of the first videos that we did, we had this lady from Florida come on,
And she was wild. She was shocked. Like, she's like, yo, I went to Walmart today and some young boys standing out there telling me this. She said, I didn't pay it no mind. And then she said, I went to another store hours later and there was some more young boys out there saying it was Israel. She said, now I come on Facebook and I see you guys saying the same thing. So we got excited with it, like all praise. So about 3 or 4 months deep, she was there every Shabbat. And one day we didn't see her. A few weeks went by. And Pastor and me told me to reach out. So I reached out. So how you doing? Just wanted to check in, see how you doing. She said, Pastor, this is too much for me. I didn't know that I had to do all this, and I didn't know all this was what it was going to take. So right now, I'm just going back to the church. So I just can't take all this right now. That was 2017. I ain't heard from her since. And I believe that's just one story. I can tell you countless more. People are afraid. The people don't want. People think that this puts a bullseye on them. But ladies and gentlemen, you got a bullseye on you when you're born.
Exactly.
What do you think? What do you think this sudden rise of all these so-called DNA companies out here was for? What do you think it was about? It was to mark Israel. Israel outnumbered the sand and the sea. They had to be able to plan their eugenics. And some of our people, they were just doing it because they wanted to research family or whatever. Some of you done gave them the green light. We need you to come to this figure camp. You got corona. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. And they ain't gonna have it. But what they do have is the blood of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do you think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden your Israel is the face of the disease now? Instead of sending the Native Americans the supplies they send them body bags. You telling me in every city, in every community, that the only people dying is Israel. It's because when they go to those hospitals, they kill them. That's why. They have the ability, ladies and gentlemen, to induce a pneumonia to kill you. I've been dealing with respiratory issues since 2004. I know how it works. And if I'm not afraid, why is everyone who ain't living got my issues, why are they? Have you seen me with a mask? If anyone should have it on, I should. But guess what I have? The blood. Firewall. And then I also have a name that is above all names. So you can go from corona to COVID, you can call it whatever you want to. Good. But I said, I'll say this, read it again, Deacon. Says what?
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
If you come to serve the Most High,
prepare thy soul for temptation.
because we each and every one of us have their own thing that could be a deal breaker. Some of us your kids. They're gonna tell you, listen, sorry, your kid can't play football, they can't play baseball unless you get this vaccine. And some of you that haven't been raising your kids in this truth, they ain't been telling them the whole story. You're gonna have a hard conversation to have when it comes time to go back to school. And you know, but you ain't been telling them, you've been letting them do Christmas and Easter and all that stuff because the family was doing it, and you ain't had these hard conversations. So some of you may have to say, yo, sports is over. Extracurricular activities is over. School is over. We homeschooling, but some of the parents gonna break because of that. Some of your livelihoods, communities, organizations, acceptance, all the different things. These are different temptations that some of you are going to have to face. The whole world is different, but yet nothing has changed. Verse 2.
Set thy heart aright.
Set thy heart right.
And constantly endure.
That means, ladies and gentlemen, that this ain't going to be no one-time battle here. This is constantly endure. Go ahead. Make not haste in time of trouble. Some people ready to run right now. They ready. I'm out. I hear it every week, every other day. I can't do this, bro. I can't do it. I know I said I was going to join you, man, but it's just too hard right now. Yeah, I know we said we're going to come, man, but I can't. Okay. I understand. I just feel more comfortable watching online. Okay. This online thing, though, I'm telling you, this is about to be cut off. I'm telling you. This is why we're working hard right now to get these things planned, because I'm telling you. Especially with what we're bringing out. The video, they tag these videos now. We went through a long period of time. Our videos were just getting deleted. Like, they just take it out. Like, bro, you shouldn't be knowing this. I want to tell them. I would love to sit down and say I don't. I just go to the guy. No. Have you met him? His name is Shishai. He tells me, then I tell them, I know nothing. I ain't nobody. Right? Watch this. Verse 3.
Cleave unto him.
Cleave unto the Most High.
And depart not away.
And depart not away. You got to understand. Just stay with it. Stay with it. Verse 4.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it
cheerfully.
And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Ladies and gentlemen, somebody's about to lose some things. You're going to have to be willing to live below this, what you deem as a livable standard. Okay? I'm sorry. But if we have food and raiment, you're good. You're doing better than a lot of people in the church. You may not be able to take the fancy trips. You may not be able to get the purses, ladies, and the Jordans and all that. But hey, food and raiment. We got to get back to the principles of what our ancestors to be. When good enough was enough. Because I remember the Bible tells me that when they was walking through the wilderness for 40 years, their shoes never broke down, their clothes never wore out, they ate every day, manna coming from the sky. Most times going to provide. You just might not be, Instagram ready. Okay? All right. Okay. We ain't Instagram ready. We can't flex. But I think it's flexing when we can say the Most High provided and we had to sell our soul to eat. That's flexing. I ain't got to lie. I ain't got to compromise with the system and I'm still good. That's flexing. Come? Verse 5.
For gold is tried in the fire.
For gold is tried in the fire.
And acceptable men.
And who? And who? Acceptable men and women.
In the furnace of adversity.
In the furnace of adversity. That's how you're going to be found acceptable. Because, ladies and gentlemen, listen, when it's all good, everybody going to be with it. Dude, everybody with it on the feast day, ain't
Mm-hmm.
Where you at in the trenches? Everybody's popping on the feast days. Everybody laughing, jumping up and down. When it's time for us to hit these blocks, hit these streets, hit these hoods, am I going to see you? When it's time to give, will you be there? Right? Watch this. Verse 6.
Believe in him.
Believe in the Most High.
And he will help.
And he will help thee.
Order thy way of right. And trust in him.
Trust in the elders.
Trust in him.
Trust in him. I'm going to always tell you, don't put your trust in me. Okay? Trust him. Follow who I follow. Don't follow me. You will always know it better than ministry. Ain't no idol worship going to ever go on here. You will never serve me. I'm going to tell you straight like that. Me and Dick don't play that. We will never exalt ourselves, and we will never allow ourselves to be exalted. Okay? Watch this. Go ahead.
Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy.
Wait for his mercy.
And go not aside lest he fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him.
Believe him.
And your reward shall not fail.
And your reward shall not fail. Go ahead.
Ye that fear
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right?
Look at the generations of old and
Right.
see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Can y'all tell me a time when that happened? When someone trusted in the Most High and he didn't come to pass for them? There, can you find a story where this ever happened? Is the Most High failed someone? Right? Verse 11.
For the Lord is full of compassion
Mhm.
and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgive of sins and saver in a time of affliction.
Y'all see that? The whole world is different, yet nothing has changed. Now that's the end of book 4. Still not coming short. Still not being short. I mean, amongst our standards. Let's go to book 4. Last week, this was just that week before. Let's go to book 4. You know, we always like to end on some good news here. Let's go to book 4. The whole world is different, yet nothing has changed. Let's go to Baruch 4 and let's start at verse 24.
Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our Yah.
Y'all see that? So all the Gentiles have looked around and looked at us and like, man, these black people, I think they're strong. They really going through. But shortly they're gonna see what?
Shortly your salvation from our Yah.
From who?
Our Yah.
From our Yah. Go ahead.
This shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
Y'all see that? This is what he told us. This is what he promised us. Go ahead.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yah.
Mm-hmm.
For thine enemy has persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction.
Well, shortly what?
Shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shall tread upon his neck.
Y'all see that? Just suffer patiently. It's okay. I got those guys. Don't get caught up in what they're doing. They're all taken care of. That's why you'll never hear us on here going about what we gonna do. We're gonna load the guns. We're gonna make them pay. Nah. I read Isaiah 63. It's already been taken care of. Okay. Stand still and see the salvation of the Most High. Right? Verse 27, 26.
My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemy.
We did. We struggled. It's been rough for us. It's been 400 years. Go ahead.
Be of good comfort.
But be of good comfort.
O my children, and cry unto Yah. Ye shall be remembered.
For ye shall be remembered.
Of him
that brought these things upon thee.
For as it was your mind to go astray from Yah, so be returned, seek him 10 times more.
Read that again. Listen to what he's saying.
For as it was in your mind to go astray from Yah.
Because we did. This is the first step of healing. When you stop blaming the government and the so-called white man and say, we did this. We had a mind, we went away, but now we must do what?
So being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Now that we have returned, we must seek him 10 times the more. Okay? Watch this. Verse 29.
For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation.
Y'all see that, man? See, he said, listen, I brought these plagues upon you. The Most High constantly remind us that I did this. It won't nobody else. I did this to you, so I'm going to bring you out of it. Go ahead.
Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee the name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflict thee and rejoice at thy fall.
Watch this. Go ahead.
Miserable are the cities which thy children serve.
Miserable are the cities in which your children have served. Go ahead.
Miserable is she that receiveth thy sons.
Miserable is she that received thy sons. Now, hold your place there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Go to Revelation 13. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the patience that we have. Watch this. Revelation 13, verse 9 and 10. Watch this.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Right?
He that leadeth into captivity
He that leads into captivity
shall go into captivity.
shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
There is
Here is the patience, faith of the saints. So we know what they did to us. We know it's about to be done to them. How do we also know that? Let's go to Isaiah 14. I want y'all to have these precepts. Because they're going to say, man, that don't sound right. They don't sound like the Bible, though. Because when you bring the Bible, they're going to say, no, that ain't the Bible. Yeah, we know what they say. So they don't know what's took out of the Bible. They don't know that. Isaiah 14, verse 1.
For the Lord have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel.
And will yet choose who?
Israel. And set them in their own land.
Right.
And the strangers shall rejoin with them, and shall cleave unto the house of Jacob.
So the Gentiles will be with us, and they will cleave unto the house of Jacob. Go ahead.
And the people shall take them and bring it to their place.
Right.
And the house of Israel shall persist in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
For what?
For servants and handmaids.
For equal citizens.
For servants and handmaids.
For everybody on the same accord.
For servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives who was captives in work. And shall rule over their oppressors.
Y'all see that? That's why they don't want y'all to read that. That's why they tell you in the church, Revelation is scary. It is for them. Not for us. It's very scary for those guys. But not for us. God. Now, let's go back to move forward, but we almost done. So I wanted y'all to see that. You can have that precept for that verse 32, verse 33.
For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, she was glad for thy fall. So shall she be grieved for her own desolation.
They was happy, man, seeing us being destroyed. You think those guys, you think they shedding any tears when we getting killed in the streets? Not a one. Just because they come on there. Listen, my fellow African Americans, we love you. And we want you to be treated equal. And we're going to pass legislation, and we're going to do whatever it takes in the first 100 days to make sure.
The election first.
Not now. Not now. But in the first 100 days. We've heard that for the last, 80 years. But yet our people in November, with their mask on, they're going to be standing in the parking lot like this. Joe Biden's going to do it for me. When Joe Biden is responsible, Crime Bill Joe is responsible for the death and destruction of all our communities over this problem. Why do you think we hid in the prisons? Because his legislations was the reason. Yeah, we bought the crack in the neighborhood, but hey, I'm still gonna pass the laws and send you to prison for crack. What? I admit it, we did it. Okay, yeah, we did it. But yes, dirty. Never trust that enemy, man. Never. Watch this. Oh yeah, by the way, let me put this out here. There was some sneak dissing going on, so I want to put this out here before. Some sneak dissing that happened. When someone mentioned we talking about Biden and don't talk about Trump. They said talking about that what he did through the real estate, and he's hindered Black people too. It's a shame that we even have to say this, but Better Day Ministries do not affiliate with any political party in America. Okay. None of them. Okay. And it's sad that I even had to say that. It seems like he emphasizing more on Biden, but he ain't talking about Trump. The devil is the devil. Y'all the one giving different names. I just call him the devil.
Everybody. Okay? Devil is devil. Blue or red, devil. Period. But the fact that I gotta say that, let me just put it out there. We don't rock with none of them. Okay? The emperor's name Ahiah, and the king's name is Yeshaya. That's it. And we didn't participate in no vote in that. It was already settled. And anybody think about casting a vote? Verse what we at, Duke? Verse 34?
I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning.
All the pride they got is gonna be turned to mourning. Go ahead.
For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting.
From who?
From the everlasting.
Right?
Long to endure.
Long to endure.
And she shall be inhabited.
Did I not say that? Okay. So hey, most I say who they are. Right? Go ahead.
O Jerusalem.
Oh, Jerusalem.
Look about thee.
Look where? Now look to the White House. Now march on Washington. Look to the Capitol building. Now look to the Senate. Toward the east. Read it again, Dick. Oh, Jerusalem. Look to the east. Uh-huh.
Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away.
Right?
They come gathered together from the east to the west, and the word of the Holy One. Rejoicing in the glory.
Now go on to verse 1, chapter 5, verse 1. Go ahead. We're going to finish this up.
Put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of thy mourning.
Put it off. Take all that stuff off. For how long? Go ahead. Right?
God will show thy brightness unto every country of the heaven.
He's going to show thy brightness into every country of under heaven. Go ahead.
For the name shall be called God forever.
But no, read it again.
For thy name shall be called of God forever.
Y'all see that? Every country under heaven will acknowledge that we are of Yah. Go ahead. For how long they gonna do it?
Forever.
Uh-huh.
The peace of righteousness and the glory of Yah's worship.
Y'all see that? He said every country will have to declare this. And if they don't, we can go into that another time. Verse 5.
Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high.
Right?
And look about toward the east.
And look toward the east.
And behold, thy children gathered from the west to the east by the word of the Holy One.
Right?
Rejoicing in the remembrance of God. For they departed from thee on foot.
So we left on foot.
And led away of their enemies.
Right?
And God bringeth them unto thee exalted with glory as children of the kingdom.
Y'all see that, man? We left as slaves, but we're coming back exalted. The whole world is different. Yeah, nothing has changed. Go ahead.
For God has appointed that every high hill and banks of long continuance should be cast down.
Should be cast down. Go ahead.
And valleys filled up to make even the ground, that Israel may go safely in the glory of God.
Everything in our way removed. Are y'all hearing this? They don't want you to know this. Every mountain is in the way, cast out. The valleys are low, I'm going to rise them up so that you can walk smooth back home to me. Y'all hearing this? Hallelujah. Watch this. Verse 8.
Moreover, even the woods and every seashore tree shall overshadow.
Now that means no heat. Give us shade. Make it comfortable for you. Go ahead. By what? Y'all better understand what's going on. The whole world is different, yet nothing has changed. Hallelujah. 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 Let's get the most out some praise. Yeesh. Yeesh. You can't even shake your head when you get over there like man. Woo! I'm trying to tell you, right? Hey. I'm telling you, Shabbat Shalom to one of the good things over this day. Today we like to give all praise. We like to give all glory. We like to give all honor to a higher, by Hashem Yeshaya, and his precious Ruach, for everything that took place here today. I pray through the Spirit of the Most High that your people were edified, and that the name of the Most High was edified. What more can I say? Telling you, man, I felt so good about this last night. 2:30, man, I was up with the Most High. I was just excited. Like, I wanted to give it to you then. I wanted to just go live and just start calling y'all, waking y'all up. Come on, let's get it with me now. Telling you, man, it's just you know, I thank the Most High because, you know, quickly, I promise you that I want to leave this with y'all. Give me the scripture that says, "Blessed are the eyes." Give me that scripture right quick, because blessed are the eyes that they see. Because I know sometimes that this knowledge has got a lot of people kind of concerned, because you know, you see things and it's like you see it coming and like, man, you're like, yo, this is crazy. You know what the ultimate, you know, scheme of it all. And I know it gets a little disheartening, but I don't want people to look at it that way, because sometimes we should take this as an honor that the Most High has allowed us to see what we see. Because without him showing us, man, we would be lost right now. We'll be lost. And so we got to understand that we are truly blessed to have this ability and this insight that he has entrusted us with. We should never look at this as a burden. We should always look at this as a blessing, as favor. To have this choice, to have this opportunity to not be walking around with no help, no insight, like the rest of the world is. I'm talking about the world is lost, but we have. Chapter and verse.
Matthew 13:16. But blessed is your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Right.
For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
Imagine if Isaiah, Jeremiah, and the boys was here right now, how they would be feeling. How would Paul be feeling right now, knowing that Hamashiach is really right here like come? They would be discouraged. They wouldn't be sad at all. They would be excited. So this is how we got to do it. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So I don't want people to be discouraged by what you see. I want you to be encouraged that you can see. That you could be blind, but we're not. So, as we always say, ladies and gentlemen, continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding into the work of the Most High. We want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that we love each and every one of you. And if there's anything that we can do for you, never, ever, ever hesitate to hit us up. So all my people out there, Corn Gasserala.
I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the nation of the saints. Here I am to keep the commandments of God. Hey,
Gotta thank him, man.
I gotta thank God for being the chosen seed of Israel. His affection not the same. Here I have to keep the commandments of the God. And the faith of the Mashiach. Whoa, yeah, whoa. I'm here to encourage you, brothers and sisters. Trying to paint to you a better picture. Everything I say, I back it up with the
That's what the
scriptures.
scriptures say.
To get you out the matrix. It's been over 400 years of life. You gotta open up your mind. Cause there's so many reasons we in captivity. You gotta flee from the heathens. There is hope in the future. Even though they try to do us evil. But we live to fight another day in the city. We pray for Yahweh. I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel.
Unmovable, always about it, the word of the Most High. Love each and every one of you. Rock and die. On Yashua. For the rest of your Sabbath. Shalom. Shalom.
I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. His affection not the same.